I believe that orangutans and many other non-humans on the planet are persons. And I'd like to quickly describe how I've come to that understanding by telling you what is a person and what is the concept of a personhood. Now, when we're very young, we don't actually have the concept of being a person, and this is why babies are often so beautiful and they live in the moment and they haven't developed the individual identity. Now, about 18 months, 2 years of age in most humans, the concept of personhood is solidified. That means they recognize a continuity of thinking from the past, present to the future. And it's really just a concept. It's a bit like the analogy of a man rotating a flame on the end of a string. It appears as a perfect unbroken circle, but in fact it's not, it's just an illusion. So similarly, ultimately, the concept of individual personhood within us and orangutans is simply a concept that we develop in ourselves, observing the world through our minds and developing a concept of continuity. Now, why is this important? It's important because it relates very much to suffering. Because as persons, we not only suffer the moment, but we have worries about the past and anxieties about the future. Because both us and orangutans, as examples, we can be miserable now, even in the most luxurious and safe places, because we worry about the past and we have anxieties about the future. And therefore, suffering of persons is so much greater once this concept of individual identity has come upon us. Actually, one of the best metaphors I can think of is actually in the Bible, and it's a metaphor, not an historic account, is that when Eve eats the apple of knowledge, the knowledge here is a knowledge of individual existence, of I am. This self-consciousness comes upon her and Adam, and that is, the metaphor of that is being self-conscious, seeing themselves as naked. Soon after that, they are thrown out from the Garden of Eden to suffer. And this is again the metaphor saying, once that personhood comes upon us and self-consciousness, we then have to suffer the thorns of individual identity and are thrown out of the Garden of Eden. Now, we're all in this situation, persons suffering in a world with worries and anxieties, and the out for us is to become selfless and go beyond personhood, which is a universal love, universal consciousness that connects us all. And this can only be achieved through seeing that we are all one, not just humans, but orangutans and all living beings, and all have value and deserve every opportunity for the pursuit and achievement of happiness.